Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to 2C TV, your global news channel. I'm Maya 2C, and this is your latest news update from the conflict in the Middle East. The absolute and full chaos, crisis mode in the capital of Iran as the civilians in Tehran are now evacuating, mass evacuation. Of course, a lot of them already left earlier this morning and yesterday, but following the statement from President Trump when he urged everybody to evacuate Tehran immediately, everybody is leaving. The president is on his way back from Canada to the White House. The Situation Room is getting ready. There is a lot happening. There's a lot of speculations. Of course, we're going to keep going because as we speak, not just Tehran, but all cities, all major cities across Iran are getting hammered by the Israeli Defense Forces. And there's also we have evidence of the mobilization of the American troops towards the Middle East and towards Iran. First things first, let's talk about what happened. So as we finished the last live stream, President Trump called for an evacuation and he is returning from Canada to Washington. He has asked the National Security Council to prepare in the Situation Room alongside Pete Hegseth and Marco Rubio and others, of course JD Vance as well. We now have, following that statement, immediately within minutes, we started getting all these updates, including this video, mass evacuation. That is absolutely huge. Also, I just realized that our number on the screen is not up to date. We are now at 986,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. Of course, this news was also reported on our 2C.tv website. If you want to stay up to date with all the news alerts and, of course, access to everything else, download the 2C TV app today and become a member of 2C TV Plus. Now, the strikes right now against the IRGC and the Islamic occupation by the Israelis has now reached Ahvaz. Now, Ahvaz was fairly quiet. There were a number of attacks on Ahvaz, but this is the first time we are seeing the attacks by the IDF, the Israeli Air Force, intensifying in that place. Army bases and IRGC bases all being eliminated. That was just a short video from Ahvaz. And now let's talk about what's going on with the United States. As we speak, several more US Air Force KC-135 Aero, these are the refueling tankers, have now departed from air bases in the US. They are heading towards the Atlantic in the last hour or so, including several of the KC-46 as well. Now, we will find out because a lot of the aircraft carriers and everything else, they have already been moved from the Middle East to other parts of the Middle East, but also from the US to Europe and the Middle East. So they have to also relocate some from the US to other parts of the United States. Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, was just on TV as well, and he continues to say, of course, our position is that we are on the defensive. We are prepared to protect the American interest. They indicating that the Iranian regime is a threat, and we're just going to be there in case we get attacked, in case our bases get attacked or whatever happens. And that's why this is happening. Let's go to Hegseth.
What it looks like right now is we're vigilant. We're prepared, and we've messaged consistently from the beginning that we're in the region to defend our people and our assets. And Israel took an action out of self-defense. We believe that Iran, as President has said from the beginning, should not have a nuclear weapon. That position hasn't changed. They can give it up peacefully. That position hasn't changed. And as a result, right now, we've got assets in the region, and we're going to defend them.
Which makes sense. I'm going to give you a list of places that are currently being attacked in Iran. So you have Tehran, of course, the capital. You got Qazvin, which is to the west of Tehran. You got Ahvaz in the south. You got Shiraz, that's been repeatedly attacked over the last couple of days. Parchin, Mashhad, Natanz, which is the nuclear sites, Khorramabad, and Arak as well. Arak also has a very, very sensitive, couple of sensitive IRGC sites and a lot of labs as well. So while this is happening, of course, Tehran as a capital has effectively fallen. As I said before, the Iranian army is nowhere to be seen. The leadership nowhere to be seen. The supreme leader continues to be in his bunker, in hiding. I'm not really sure if the Americans want to, for example, negotiate with anybody, have some sort of direct conversation, how they can actually do this, considering that nobody's actually in charge, at least when it comes to the capital. Most of the bases or the IRGC terrorists are now outside. A lot of them actually close to the western border with Iraq. Anyway, as this was happening, they are still attacking Israel using the launch pads, the few remaining launch pads. The Iranian regime promised to wipe out Israel tonight, right? And they said we're going to do non-stop attacks. But there have been a number of small waves of attacks on Israel. Just a few drones and missiles, and not all of them ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, like it's in the 1980s all over again. Sirens all over Israel earlier. About an hour ago again, people panicked, but everything that was launched was intercepted, no casualties reported, and yeah, just continue as usual. I'm not really sure what they have left when it comes to the Iranian regime. Are they going to do something, a surprise attack or whatever? But the Israeli drones, of course, the Israeli fighter jets are freely roaming around. They have total control over the skies in Tehran. The air defense system is completely down. Israeli drones are now also freely, obviously, roaming the skies above Tehran. We have this video to show you from this. This is very important. I'm going to explain why in a second. It is important because the Islamist nutters in charge of the Islamic Republic, until earlier today, they were at least pretty good at trying to target the drones from the ground. They were okay with that. Somehow, Tehran is completely lost. So, in Mashhad and other cities, the air defense system is still relatively working, even in Shiraz, even in Ahvaz. But Tehran, which should be the main concern for the regime, doesn't seem to have any level of defense as we speak right now. Of course, some of them could be moved from other places when it comes to tomorrow morning and whatever happens in the next few hours. Now, 12 US fighter jets, F-22s, F-35s and others, also flying towards the Middle East. We will get more information about what that will bring, of course. But let's talk about the video from earlier. The last live report we had for you guys showed a group of people in Iran that it looked like they came out, they escaped a prison. We now have more information about that and a video. These were people who were inside a rehab center, a camp for drug addicts, and near that side was hit, so they had to escape. They basically left and ran away, and we have this video, just updated video from that as well.
اینو پریده پشتون شبیزدان
اساتید از کمپ فرار کردن.
چه کمپ
معلومه
دیگه
سیگار از اونجا دارن میان، از تو اینجا دارن میان.
نگاه همش
Absolutely crazy scenes from inside Iran. Now, in regards to what's going on with President Donald J. Trump, he has instructed his team to try and arrange a meeting, direct meeting with the Iranian regime leadership as soon as possible. So this was when, of course, President Trump said everybody from Tehran evacuate, the Iranian regime can't have nuclear, and I'm coming back to Washington right now after the dinner with Mark Carney and others. When the journalists were pressing on and saying, so why, what's going on, what do you want to do? The briefing, there's been a number of different briefings from the White House, well, US officials. One of them was this, that the president has ordered a direct demand to meet and have a direct conversation with the Islamic Republic of Iran. Until now, even the negotiations were indirect conversations, of course, which kind of, again, if you want to speculate, there's a lot to speculate here, including the fact that they say we are moving the troops just for defensive reasons in case. But when you demand to direct conversation, then things could rapidly escalate because it's unlikely. The Iranian regime are begging for support. They are begging President Trump to do a ceasefire, right? But then the latest briefing we've just received, the White House are saying President Trump has not left towards the White House, towards Washington, in order to do the ceasefire. So if I were to speculate, which I don't want to do because it's, this is changing within minutes, this could mean that he wants to go and say, hey, I'm doing one more attempt, final attempt to talk to these guys. And of course, the Iranian regime have a condition saying that we won't talk unless Israel stops attacking, right? And then President Trump could say, well, I tried, now we're going to have to defend ourselves. But it's still very, very difficult to see how President Trump could come across as starting some sort of conflict. That's how it will come across. It will come across as he's starting a conflict, even though the Iranian regime started this, firstly, in 1979, when they declared war on America and said death to America. And also, today, they hit the US embassy in Israel. And of course, everything else that they've been doing, they've been targeting the US bases and they've been threatening to target more US bases. So it is in self-defense, but optics, it will come across as President Trump starting a war. So I believe, obviously, there has to be a lot of considerations before making any sort of move. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. He's on his way right now to Washington, and we will find out. 5 additional US Army tankers are now lifting and heading for the eastern routes as well. We will get more information on this. Of course, some of the refueling tankers will be going towards Finland and the NATO side, but we will get more details. There is a couple of things coming up as we speak as well. There has been So the United States, the US forces, Korea, have now confirmed that all of their bases in South Korea have increased their FPCON level to Bravo under the orders of the US Indo-Pacific Command. In case you don't know, in terms of the different levels that you're dealing with, I'm just going to put it on screen. So everything is kind of developing very quickly across not just the region in the Middle East, but elsewhere as well. This just came out now. As we said, they have raised the force protection conditions from Alpha to Bravo across all their area of responsibility. So obviously it applies when an increase or more predictable threat of terrorist activity exists. So that's the US forces. There is also some information coming in regards to the fresh round of attacks from the Islamic Republic towards the state of Israel. Of course, the Israelis have said, we do have a statement, I believe, from the security forces in Israel, and obviously telling people to go back to the shelters and be ready. The Iranian military sites in Syria and in Iran are being attacked. So this is in the southwestern parts of Syria, in case you don't know, near the Golan Heights. They are being hammered. These are the some of the IRGC militias who are still technically in Syria, and Al-Julani has not completely taken control of those parts. So the Israelis obviously have been on top of this to ensure that the threat from the IRGC goes down. While we wait for information about what's going on with President Trump, let's get some reaction from you guys. I would very much love to know how Salman Rushdie is feeling right now. Oh yes, I do wonder. Vengeance, right? After everything he went through. Aiden says, did you see the report of a nuclear sniffer, which is a US Air Force plane that tracks nuclear fallout over the US? Yeah, there's been a lot of these comments going around on social media. We have to make sure we get everything verified first. And Jess says, we're going to win our signed shirts tonight. Oh dear, yeah, it's true. So I did make a wager with you guys, the viewers of 2CTV, yesterday, right? What was I thinking? I said if we reach 1 million subscribers before Ali Khamenei is caught or killed or escaped, then I'm gonna have to give. I'm gonna pick 10 random people who did accept the wager. I'm gonna go through the comments again. I'm gonna give you guys some gifts, presents, signed merch, and a phone call with me directly as well. I think I'm going to lose that probably, unless something happens tonight or this morning, well, within the next few hours. Super chat from the US, and another one here as well. There is a, what's this? 2C, do you know how to speak Farsi? Just curious, and thanks for your constant and based coverage. Yeah, I speak okay. I can't make a speech, so I can't really stand for president. But yes, no, I do know it quite well. Let's quickly go to the members of 2CTV Plus while we are here. Obviously, if you become a member of 2CTV Plus, you also get access to the chat forum. Go on 2c.tv and you will get that. What is going on? There we go. Liberation Day is here. Yeah, I don't blame Trump for leaving Canada. Who wants to deal with those bunch? He still stayed for dinner, by the way. Hope your father stays along with the Iranians and the Israelis. Thanks, Maya. Everyone join 2CTV Plus. It's a great platform. Love from Canada. I do love when the members of 2CTV Plus in the chat forum are promoting 2CTV Plus. So yeah, listen to them. If you become a member of 2CTV Plus today, if you go on 2c.tv, you will get 1 month free membership if you join as an annual subscriber, but also download the 2CTV app. You get access to the news alerts, documentaries, interviews, chat forum, podcast, everything. Everything's there. And that's the best way to also support our work and our team as we continue. All right, so what else do we have? That was a long break. Hope rockets in the north of Israel. What? Oh, rockets in the north of Israel. Why now Russia and China are saying its citizens to get out? Yes, we did get that update. China have told their citizens to leave Israel immediately as well. Just precautions, I guess, unless they know something we don't know. Thank you to the chat forum for all the support. Thank you, guys. And Susie says, people can now leave their shelters. Another 3 sent, 3 intercepted, as far as we know. Yeah, so that was the latest, but now apparently it's coming back. They're coming back with a fresh round of attacks. And so far, they've just been using a couple of cruise missiles and a few ballistic missiles. Trump's approval rating. I don't know. The MAGA movement is a little bit divided right now. What are the chances of the prince returning to help govern a new democracy? Well, highly, highly likely. Obviously, he will be running a transition government. A transitional government, the plan that the Iranian people have is to have a transition government, have a referendum, democratically decide whether they want to have a republic or a constitutional monarchy or parliamentary democracy, whatever they want to have, and then go from there. with the roads so full of cars, how is anyone leaving Tehran? It's very difficult. So the problem with the evacuations in the capital is that I did mention in the previous live stream, you have a situation where the IRGC, so again, it's not the actual army. We don't know where the actual army is, but the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, that the actual terrorists in charge of Iran, they've set up checkpoints everywhere. All these checkpoints blocking everything. And secondly, if you want to go get petrol for your car, there's a limit now. You can only have 20, I think it was 20 liters or something like that. So it's going to be very difficult for a lot of people. A lot of people have started walking instead of just driving away. So that is the latest we have from that situation. Now, what? Live stream at the 990,000. What are we on now? It's still 987. Well, it's gonna come very soon, guys. Come on. Reese says, my mom's a bit too obsessed with you. OG subscriber. Well, hello, Reese's mum. Amazing. Anyway, hard to believe catching you live. God bless. It looks like a Jeremiah 49 is happening. It's too soon. It's too soon for that. Come on. Still got a life. Are there any leaders left to meet with President Trump? This is the point. So, okay, so technically speaking, you have the so-called president, and president in Iran is a fake role. It's basically just in charge of tax rates. And the supreme leader makes the decisions, but the president is the face of the government. The president is there, and he's relatively visible. So he did go to the parliament, to their Majlis parliament, earlier today and yesterday when they were shouting Pakistan, Pakistan. That was weird. They were basically cheering on Pakistan to come and help them. Said no one in the history of humanity, come on please Pakistan, Pakistan help us. Why on earth would you ask Pakistan to help? It's embarrassing. Man up, Islamic Republic. So yeah, technically the president, but I don't know if he's going to say yes. Well, he's going to have to say yes, right? Because he's desperate. The Iranian leadership are desperate to survive. Okay, Christian, thank you so much for your super chat. Thought Maverick says, we are so grateful for you, 2C, especially given the tyranny against freedom of speech in the UK. We are praying for you, your family, your father. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm still in touch, although I haven't heard from my dad for a few hours. Obviously, he's in Tehran, so he is not able to leave. What was your update on your dad? Also, I was the first in agreeing to your wager. I hope I win. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. I'll just pick 10 random people. It might be you as well. Yeah, as I said, I haven't. My father is kind of stuck in the capital and is he's gonna have to basically just stay at home. But because the Iranian regime don't really care about their civilians, so they haven't really built any shelters for people. Which makes things a little bit harder compared to Israel, where every 2 seconds there's some sort of shelter. Another super chat from Canada saying Trump must support Americans in the Middle East. Yes, it's literally his job. And people who are like kicking up about President Trump defending the troops, I'm like, what is wrong with you? He's the commander-in-chief. I enjoyed seeing him in Canada today next to our tiny PM. To see best news source ever. Love from Canada. Yes, I do love the Canadian, except for their Prime Minister. Jason says Tucker Carlson is already taking swipes at Trump. Yeah, we showed in the previous live stream Trump's reaction to Tucker Carlson losing his mind. It was kind of funny. Raymond says, watching real and honest news from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Thank you so much, Raymond Peterson. And we also have William saying, was your father able to relocate? Not really. Drew says, my mum is watching him too. Something. Yeah. Love you, mum. Thanks, guys, I guess. And go Pakistan. I'm not saying it the way you want me to say it, but always reminds me of that video from Pakistan, from a Pakistani school, where that woman was had a microphone and all these little school kids were coming saying, what do you want to do when you grow up? I want to defend Pakistan and destroy India. And then the teacher goes, grape. Instead of great, she said grape. Grape. Amazing. All right, let's find out what's going on with this situation, with this situation room. Of course, there is more developments coming. The IDF Home Front Command have now said that civilians can now leave their shelters. This is the 4th time tonight. Oh my God. I'm so glad I'm not there right now. Literally, I was in Israel a few weeks ago. Was it a month ago? Oh, that was fine because we had one siren or 2 sirens. Actually, one where we were in Tel Aviv. And we also managed to miss the fires outside Jerusalem. So I got lucky with that. But those who are currently in Israel, I kind of feel sorry for them because it's not easy. So there is this video that the IDF have released because they're basically putting pressure on now the European liberal leaders, saying that we are fighting for humanity, not just us, but you will be next and everybody else will be next if the Islamic Republic grows. So they've done this kind of PR video. And where is the thing? How can I put this on? It's essentially just showing all the flags of the countries, I think. Destruction of the UK, Belgium, Canada, Sweden, Germany, all the countries, Israel. This guy. What if your enemy had the biggest plan? Israel doesn't have to imagine. Iran has a plan based around something, but it's going very fast. You can see the screen, right? It's about, obviously, the nuclear threat and the Islamic expansion of the IRGC. So, because their next plan will be basically the rest of the world. And to be fair, this is based on not really... oh, did you actually see that? Because I don't think I put it on... I didn't actually put it on screen for you guys. I didn't click the actual button. Brilliant. That was good. So now you can see it, right? Now it makes sense. So that's what I was watching. I don't know if you saw that the first time. Basically everybody is going to be a target if the Islamic Republic continues to grow. There's an idiot in the live chat. Who wants to talk to an idiot? Where is it gone? Yeah, this one. All My Life says, you are using clickbait. I don't think this person knows what clickbait actually means. So clickbait means you put like a title or something of a video mostly, and when you click on it, it's a whole different thing. So you, for example, say this video is about oranges, and you click on it, and it's actually about cars. A complete different thing, right? But if you mean misleading, that's what most people mean when they say clickbait. I think a lot of people have like learned the words clickbait the last few years. Like, ooh, I should use that word. So we can go through it together. This bit, massive evacuation in Tehran, that's accurate, confirmed by everybody. We showed you the evidence. The next bit, what else do we have? The title of the live stream, the actual live report, saying Trump prepares situation room, has been confirmed by the White House, by President Trump. The situation room is being prepared as he's flying back to Washington. As IRGC flees Tehran, that's also been clear because Israel already has control over the capital. So calm down, dear, and breathe and take your chill pill. All right, next. Ooh, I missed a few super chats. Scott says Eli Copter started this. Yes, Eli Copter. And where's Greta or Regretta Thunderlips? That sounds disgusting, but yeah. Sorry, Maya, I thought you had a few to celebrate, but I realized I had you on slow mode. Praying all Persians and your father is safe. Love you, babe. Thank you very much, Quinn Nick. And another one's saying, speak Farsi for us. I'm not your monkey. Dance, monkey, dance. Michelle says the prince is fighting against the Islamists for his people, while the UK king enjoys dining with them and not protecting his people. Make it make sense. I can't. Amazing channel and content, brother. What are your own thoughts on these evacuations? movement and sudden meetings being potentially related to nuclear escalation. It's not nuclear escalation, no. But the evacuations are basically because President Trump posted that thing, so everyone panicked, and we have to wait for him to get to Washington, get to the situation room to find out exactly what the plan is. And there's a lot that's going to happen within the next few minutes, within the next few hours, which could accelerate things in terms of the progress to get rid of the IRGC or throw them a lifeline. Like, we're gonna find out very soon whether they're gonna be saved somehow by President Trump or the pressure from the others, or go in and drag him out. Khamenei. Gus, thank you very much for your super chat. And Andrew says, hey Maya, can you please elucidate for the sake of the doubting and ignorance on how the Iran situation is different from Iraq, where the US involvement was a big mistake? Yeah, as I said in the previous live stream, it makes no sense to compare Iran and Iraq because the Iraq situation was a proactive move by the liberal globalists. And of course, I forget about the whole exaggeration about Saddam and nuclear. The whole point of it was a proactive move, right? So they had to come up with all these excuses. We're going to go in. Now, for different reasons, it was a bad idea. Number one, it backfired. Even the lie about liberating and giving them democracy. How on earth are these people going to understand democracy in 2003 in Iraq? They've never had it. It's not like in Iran, when they used to have a constitutional monarchy and parliamentary democracy. People in Iran knew it. But that was a proactive move. The West decided to do it. Whereas in Iran, this is self-defense because this regime, since 1979, they declared war on the US and on Israel. And they have been attacking and they've been threatening. So it's more of a reactionary move. And it is the job of the US president to defend his own US troops in the Middle East and the US interest. It will be very, very different if somehow the president decides to do anything in the next few hours or days against the Islamic Republic, anything, whether it's, an airstrike, whether it's invasion or whatever. Firstly, even right now, putting boots on the ground is a terrible idea. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Again, that will also backfire. But whatever the US decides to do, it is a reactionary move. It is in self-defense. It's very, very different to Iraq in 2003. I hope that helped. Now, Woody Hart says, Trump to Khamenei, you're fired. He should do that, actually. It's been a while. If the US allows Israel to use the latest deep penetration weapons, the Iranian nuclear program is doomed, as is the IRGC. Yeah, and that way the US is involved without directly being involved. It's much safer than putting American soldiers' lives at risk. 2CTV got paid $200 billion. Israel report positive news. That's not a sentence. Positive news, Iran and Israel war. If you got that money, please give me 95% of money. I give you 5%. I am kind man. I watch your channel. Billions. I've got billions. That's good. I should get a haircut if I have billions. This is getting crazy, this hair, by the way. It's been days. I blame Israel. I was going to get a haircut like 3 days ago. Look at this. I can't even leave the house. Any bets on what the American response will be dropping the bomb? Now, they're not going to do that. That would be insane. Although they did that in Syria, if you remember. President Trump did that in Syria, and everybody panicked. Just one, done. No, I can't. I don't know. Let's just wait for the Situation Room to convene, and we'll find out in the next few minutes or hours. God knows. It's chaos. But he does want to... He's demanded to speak directly to the Iranian leadership, so Islamic leadership. Whether they say yes or no, that's different. Frank, thank you. And Dennis says 20? 20? A small price to pay for the truth. Thank you, brother. 20? Oh, $20. I got that. Marsh says, for the love of God, we don't want the US involved. Yeah, you shouldn't really want the US troops on the ground. It's just going to make things complicated, and again, the backlash on so many levels. But assistance will be different. Steve the Rooster is dead. You'll shut up about him. Yeah, guys, listen. We appreciate your truth and integrity in reporting matter. Thank you, Samantha, for your kind words. And now we're going to have to wait now, because we're waiting for the president, and more things are blowing up in Ahvaz, in the south of Tehran, actually, by the way. But subscribe to the channel, download the 2CTV app, become a member of 2CTV Plus. You get 1 month free if you join as an annual member, and then obviously you get access to all the premium shows. I might have to go take a quick nap. It's 3 a.m. where I am, and but we're going to keep an eye on everything that's going on, and come back with more live breaking news. 2CTV will continue to be your go-to source for geopolitical news. I'm Maya Tusi, and we are the media.